Make I update to na city hot. But ADS, knock them the update. PDP and APC don't they enter each other notoriously again. One thing for sure, I say Nigeria decides 2023 will be a function of the decision of the Nigerian people. Now me talk am. Make we discuss this matter. My name na ADS. Plenty Nigerians no they happy with the way things they go on for inside this our country. People they hungry. There is food inflation. Fuel no dey. Insecurity now. Say baba. And plenty other things. So, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress (APC) was asked a very critical question as he take touch the state of the nation on national TV. Make una hear wetin him talk. Watch.
In 2015, just like it's being said, that your party promised change. And the question is, what has changed in their story in the past? And I'm asking this question not without any kind of prejudice. I'm asking the question because we need to hold politicians to account on what they promise. See what the PDP has said, that your party has not been able to keep to any promise. In fact, all the promises that you have made to Nigerians, you have delivered in the negative.
That's coming from the PDP. That's coming from the PDP.
Absolutely. Are they right or wrong?
Well, I could put this to you right now. What promise have the PDP kept to their own people, to their own party, and to themselves? None whatsoever. Look, listen. There have been challenges, but if you want to talk about the road to recovery, if you want to talk about the way forward, let's talk about it. Have been challenges in the past. Challenges that have been quite overwhelming to not just this country, but a number of countries that have affected the economy negatively. That is a given. I'm also telling you that this administration, that's the President Buhari administration, is coming to the end of its tenure. Things have been done rightly in some respects. Things have not been done so well in other respects. There's no running away from that. Nobody, no government, not even the Obasanjo regime of 1999 to 2007, which I served, was perfect in its ways. Everybody, every government that comes and goes makes some errors and makes and does some positive things. And I'm telling you right now that this new dispensation that we're entering is a completely different one. The good things that the Buhari administration has done will be carried along and continued, and the things that were not done so well would not be continued in that way. That is why you have a new president coming on board. Now, having said that, I think we've been a little bit disingenuous and unfair on the past administration, and I've argued against them on many occasions in the past until I began to appreciate certain things. Let me give you an example. The issue of rice, for example, rice production, agricultural production in this country. Before this government came in, we were totally importing rice. We were hardly producing any rice. Now we are virtually, we produce our own rice and we're exporting rice. Wheat has gone down. Wheat importation has gone down by 50% in this country as a consequence of the agricultural reforms of this government.
That's now controversial Femi Fani Kayode, FFK, former aviation minister and a member of the APC. He moved from PDP, enter APC. The question now, your party promised change. What has changed since you got into power? Him say rice production, now achievement of the ruling party. Really? We dey inside food inflation. Yet we are forced to believe rice production has gone up now. Where the food dey? Of course, you know what a bag of rice costs in the market today compared to what it was before the APC took over government in 2015. Now, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, don't want Nigerian people on the dangers of re-electing the APC government into power. Here waiting the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, talk as he take consider this Matthias. Oh yeah, here.
I believe that this will be an easy election for us if we campaign right. Because honestly, we must be, our heads should be examined as citizens of Nigeria if we would even contemplate voting for a government like APC. In fact, like I said, God forbid APC comes into power. This country will break up. This country will fail. It has already failed. Because I mean, nobody has done the kind of damage the APC government has done to this country. I don't know how we will recover. I honestly don't. For us, my heart is beating that by the time President Atiku gets in, we will not be able to sleep more day and night. As I speak to you today, the debt of this country, our country, is going to 60 trillion. When are we going to get out of it? Every day, every month, they're printing.
According to the governor, Nigeria go break up if APC win as head of government again. That's so you take talk up. Our borrowed money don't enter 60 trillion naira. In fact, it don't the enter. You know, him not talk say it don't enter. He say it don't the enter 60 trillion naira and no hope to pay back. And we still the borrow more. So now this borrow more now go make them enter the 60 trillion naira. Now worst case situation be this. If this thing no they bother you, in fact they say we did 200 million Nigerians, Abi. Carry this amount now. Divide them by 200 million people. So you go know how much where they hear me talk now, where you they owe, where me they owe, where your family members they owe, where everybody for Nigeria they owe. they talk say it no concern you. Again, the River State Governor, Inyesin Wike, they on a paramount seriously. Say the presidential candidates of him party, Atiku Abubakar, come inside River State to pick people that will form members of his campaign council, and him no bother to tell him as the governor of the state, as the OO1 of the state. Make una watch.
Now let me. Some people have asked me, oh, why is it that they don't see the presidential candidate's picture, the party chairman? I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The presidential candidate entered my state and picked members of the presidential council without the whole governor of a state having a contribution. The presidential candidate entered River State, picked those he wants to pick without the contribution of the governor. So they said they don't need me to campaign for them. That they don't want River State to campaign for them. Will you force yourself? No. Will you force yourself? No. If somebody says doesn't want you, will you go and push yourself? No. You sit down and do the work you can do, and that is the end of it. I have never seen how people would disrespect a state like River State and go and choose those who are enemies of the state, without the contribution of we. So that is what they did.
This talk therefore is somehow Wike and his camp made a demand that the national chairman of the party, Iyocha Ayu, must step down for a southern chairman to take over, or them no go get anything to do with the presidential campaign. Ayu, wey be the chairman, don't refuse to step down, and Atiku no dey willing to force anybody to step down. So now why Atiku kukuma jejely pack Wike one side, they run him matter. Me, I don't understand how Wike won't take run this kind of thing for inside the state. To campaign for the PDP in his state and not campaign for the presidential candidate of his party in his state. How he won't take run am? You go to campaign for governorship for your state. Then your presidential candidates, you don't go fit campaign for them for inside the same state, and you want the same party to win. We sit down, they look. Finally, as he take touch the security challenges we face in this country, e be like say the presidential candidate of the Labour Party wey be Mr. Peter Obi get better solution to run am. Hear wetin him talk. Watch.
Recently today, the Americans issued an alert as regards insecurity, threats of terrorist attacks and the likes. If you were Commander-in-Chief, give us step by step of how you would respond to an alert as issued by the Americans just yesterday.
Rufai, even with a gun on my head, I can't give you detail of what I'm going to do with the issue of security.
but I'm going to be commander-in-chief. I'll deal with it decisively. I can't tell you how I'm going to deal with it, because if I tell you, it won't work.
No,
but I can tell you,
international law.
No,
you have responsibility
there's no
to protect. Well, it's called RPP.
Yes, I said my first responsibility in this country is to secure life and property. It's the most critical thing, because unless you do it, nobody will invest. The farmers can go back, so there's no food production. There's nothing that will happen without security. But for me to, not even America, all the things I've followed, America, even when they were going in Baghdad and everything, they were just saying they will attack massively and decisively, and they never gave us how they were going to do it that night. How can I tell you inch by inch what we're going to do? I'll be in charge, I'll be commander-in-chief, and I said in security, we will be responsive and responsible. That means whatever happens, we'll deal with it decisively, and somebody has to be responsible. If you're not doing it, you're out. We're not going to wait.
You sack a lot of service chiefs.
I said, we're not going to wait. Go ask those who worked with me. You are not deliver, you go. We're not. This is not. Okay. You can't just stay when things are not working.
Okay.
Now only inside this country, important security informations go they released to the public domain, thereby worsening the whole situation. That information should be classified. Now so America they do it. Now so Europe they do it. Now so advanced countries they fight corruption. Obi said he will be commander-in-chief, meaning say he will be in charge at all time. Not be say I condemn. I'm not aware. He will be in charge at all time. Then in conclusion, now just 4 months to the 2023 general elections. Now you remember, I beg, make up your mind to vote. If you never make up that your mind, make it up now to vote. And please again, vote wise, vote right. I'll see you again. Oh yeah, wait. You don't collect updates, you won't run away, Abi. Well, Biko, subscribe, enjoy, Biko, da Allah, subscribe.